Well, so I messed up. I realized that I never came on here and did a top 5 Tuesday like I've been doing every week. Life got in the way, got kind of hectic, things got a little crazy. So sorry about that. I didn't mean to miss it. But I figured I'd hop on here and we'll change it up today. We'll do a top 5 Thursday instead of a top 5 Tuesday this week. So I still want to bring you guys the content. So what we're going to do today is another movie review. Last time I did zombie movies. This time I'm just going to do a list of movies that I've recently seen, tell you what I think of them like I normally do, and give them a ranking out of 10. So without further ado, let's get into the review. But first, before we get into the movie, I'd like to welcome you all back to Cody's Horror Channel. I am your host, as always, Cody. If you guys do like the content that you see on my page, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the videos. It does wonders for me. I am on TikTok, I am on Facebook, and I am on YouTube. So please go ahead and like all my socials and follow and comment away. I love to hear from you guys. So without further ado, let's get back to the video. So coming in at my number 5 spot, this is a movie that I feel like my ranking is going to be very controversial. There are a lot of people who absolutely loved this movie, and this is a newer movie. They talk about how scary it is, how creepy it was, just how good of a film it was, and I personally do not see that at all. I thought this movie was boring, slow, took forever for anything and exciting to happen, and I get it. It's not the type of movie for everybody, and that's probably why I don't like it. But that movie was Undertone. I give Undertone actually a 2, maybe 3 out of 10. This movie was completely and utterly disappointing. I was so excited when I went to go see this in theaters. I was looking forward to watching it. I was paying attention the entire time, and man, I could not stop from almost falling asleep. I don't know what people see in this movie. You wait, and it builds up for these cool things to happen, and it just seems like nothing ever happens. You just have to wait until like the last, 10 to 15 minutes of this movie for anything exciting to happen. I get it. It's supposed to build up suspense. It's supposed to be all about hearing things and feeling things and making this weird, creepy atmosphere. But it didn't do that. Throughout the entire movie, it was just really boring. And it was basically building you up and tearing you down. And just throughout the whole thing, I don't know. I just did not find this movie enjoyable. But I know a lot of people do. So this is a movie I'm probably going to go back and rewatch at some point just to see if maybe I missed it. I like to do that with a lot of movies that people are high on that I am not, just to see what it is the hype was about. But I feel like whether or not I rewatch it, this one's still just going to fall flat for me like it did the first time I saw it. So coming in at my number 4 spot is a movie that I'm going to kind of base it on the entire grouping of movie, the whole franchise as a movie, not necessarily just the very first movie. But that is Hell House LLC. What I like about this movie too is I remember seeing this many, many years ago when it first came out, and I liked it. I am so-so on found footage, but this one is really, really good. And I like that. I feel like in recent years, it's starting to really get the pump up that it deserves. There's I think 5 movies now. I think it's like Hell House, LLC, Lineage, Origins, the Lake of Fire. I think I'm missing one in there, but overall, it's a really good franchise. Obviously, the very first movie is the one that really sticks out the most out of all of them. It does get, they're still good as they go on, but it kind of ventures away from what's kind of cool about it with the haunted, with being at a haunted house that was actually haunted, with the demonic showing up at the end and stealing people and all that kind of stuff. I gave this one a 6 out of 10. I absolutely love the first movie. I do like when they dive in the later ones to the history of the clowns and who he was and why he was creepy and all that kind of stuff. It is a cool movie to get into, but just like with a lot of other franchises, as you make more and more movies, it's kind of like, okay, this is a little bit drawn out a little too far. So, but overall, first one's really, really good. If you've seen the first one and you enjoy it, you will enjoy the rest, but definitely peaks in the beginning. So coming in number 3 on my list is a movie that maybe necessarily doesn't deserve to be on this list because it's not necessarily a horror movie in the essence of what you think, but it is brought to you by a director who's very big in the horror world, and that is Send Help. I enjoyed this movie. There is a small element of creepiness in this movie that I remember where it could go into the horror genre, where the lady has a flashback or like a nightmare of the guy's wife showing up even though she killed her. But I just thought this movie was really cool altogether. The cool twist at the end where they're on this deserted island and they think they're alone, even though there's this cool mansion that this lady finds, but she really wants to make her boss believe in her and need him to help her and feel that connection and love that she lost. And just overall, I feel like it was a really, really good job of acting. The set was cool. The idea was neat. I like the dynamic between the two. Her boss is, no matter what she does, just seems to be just a jerk to her the whole time, even though she continuously saves his life. So this was a good movie. It was an enjoyable watch. Like I said, though, not necessarily horror. It's a little bit more of a survival movie if you were into those. But like I said, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it was just a really good, fun watch. And I do think it has a little bit of rewatchability just to kind of enjoy the story and everything that's going on in the movie. So coming in at my number 2 spot is another movie that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about too much. It's a little bit of a hidden gem, quote unquote. In the horror community, it does get around though, so most of us know about it, but a lot of people on the outside don't really talk about it or have really seen it, but it's definitely a good movie, and it is called Wretched. So I gave this movie also a 7 out of 10, just like I did with Send Help. This movie was really good. I think it was an easy watch. It was a fun watch. It's one of those ones that if you were big into witches, you're going to like this. I am personally not a big witch person. I don't dislike witches, but it's just not the genre that I necessarily like inside of horror, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Like I said, good, easy watch about a young man dealing with a move, and then the neighbor gets into some creepy witchcraft stuff, and just how her body gets taken over by this ancient, I guess, witch or deity, however you want to say it, that's in the woods, and him trying to figure out how to defeat it, what's going on, all just the normal stuff. To me, this was just a really well done, good movie. Nothing about it, though, was like transcending or just over the top or amazing, but it's just a very, very fun and easy watch. If you are just looking to put on a horror movie that you're just going to sit there, you're going to watch, and you're going to enjoy and really have nothing bad to say about it, definitely check out Wretched. It is just a good watch. So coming in at my number 1 spot is another one I don't think a lot of people either talk about or even know about. I will say that we actually stumbled upon this movie by accident. It was actually my wife who found this when we were just scrolling for movies, and I absolutely loved it. I am a big fan of any kind of exorcism style movie, and if you are into that kind of movie, this is definitely one to check out. And this is called The Cleansing Hour. So this is kind of a cool interpretation of an exorcism type of movie, as they are doing it via live stream. Also, to go back real quick, I gave this one about a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, thoroughly enjoyed this movie. But like I was saying, they are live streaming exorcisms through their YouTube channel or whatever their generic social media they are using during this movie. But what's interesting about it is that it is a fake exorcism. The entire thing is just a stunt, just to draw views. The guy who's doing it isn't actually really a priest. And then, of course, when you mess around with things like that, eventually the real one will come through. So one of their cast members actually gets possessed by a demon in the movie. I feel like, if I remember correctly, I think it was actually the devil himself is what ended up taking her over and making them go through a bunch of shit, making them go through a whole lot of terrible things to basically prove their mettle, all to be in the end that basically the devil is now live streaming what's going on and infecting the entire world through their very large social media platform. So, like I said, it is a very cool movie. It's very interesting. I know I kind of just spoiled it a little bit there, but still check it out. It's fun. The effects are cool. The story behind it's cool. Just the heartache that these guys have to go through, even though they are being phonies throughout the whole process, but they have to deal with what they dealt with. So, a good exorcism movie, just a really fun watch if you're into that kind of paranormal horror. So just to go through it real quick with the recap, coming in at number 5, as you see, is Undertone, 2 out of 10, hopefully disappointed, definitely not worth any of the hype, at least the first time I went through and seen it. As always, make your own opinion. Coming in at number 4 was Hell House LLC. Really good first movie. First two are pretty good. It gets, a little overdone as they go on, as most longtime franchises do, but still definitely a good thing to watch. A 6 out of 10. Coming in at number 3 is Send Help, which was a little bit more of a survival movie, not necessarily a horror movie, but still cool movie to watch. Great acting, great story. I loved all about it, so I give that about a 7 out of 10. Then number 2 was Wretched, 7 out of 10 as well. Very good witch flick if you're into witches and that kind of stuff. Cool story, very easy watch. That's what I enjoyed about it. It's one of those movies you can just kind of pop on, watch, and enjoy, and then kind of move on with your life. And the number 1 coming in was Cleansing House, which I gave a 7.5. Very good exorcism movie, like I said. Cool twist on it. Love the idea of using social media as a platform, and the whole idea of a fake exorcism and exorcisms was pretty cool story. So let me know what you guys think of the movies, and then if you guys have any movies you want me to watch and then talk about, go ahead and put them in the comments.